It ought to concern every person because it is a debasement of our common humanity. It ought to concern every community because it tears at our social fabric. It ought to concern every business because it distorts markets. It ought to concern every nation because it endangers our public health and fuels violence and organized crime. I'm talking about the injustice, the outrage of human trafficking, which must be called by its true name, modern day slavery. This was a speech given by President Barack Obama in September 25th of 2012. Sex trafficking is defined by a commercial sex act in which sex is made forcible, fraudulently coerced, or if the person is less than 18 years of age. One of the problems that we are seeing is that pimps are going on social media networks such as Facebook, and they are picking out these young girls who are probably facing problems at home. They either have an abusive upbringing, they don't have both parents, or the parents just don't care about the child. So therefore the child is looking for an outlet to go and find someone, and then they run to social media, and then they meet these pimps on social media who are claiming to be around their age, and they're telling these young girls, hey, come run away with me and I'll take care of you. You don't have to worry about that anymore. But the harsh reality is that once these young girls meet up with these men who they think are there for them, but they're really not. They're pimps, and they're just out to make money off of these girls. Once they get there with them and they get settled in and comfortable, these pimps are telling them, you got to go make me some money. And once they get out there and start making the pimps some money, the pimps want more money. So they're drugging these young ladies, they're beating these young ladies, they're forcing these young girls to have sex with up to 30 men per day just to bring them back money. The young girls are so scared and frightened because the pimps are, while they're beating them, they're also telling these young ladies, if you try to leave, I'm going to call the law on you and I'm going to get you prosecuted for prostitution. What these young girls aren't realizing is that if they get busted for prostitution, the law enforcement agencies are going to see that they are the victim. Then they're going to go after their pimps, which will in turn end the pimps up in jail, and these young ladies would be free. They're staying with these pimps because they're so scared. They don't want to go to prison. That's one of their biggest fears. They fear going to prison for prostitution, but the fear of not wanting to go to prison should not outweigh the fear of staying and being abused. The pimps, they're using excuses like, you're going to go to prison, so that these women can go out there and make them more money. That's exactly what the women are doing. They're just making the pimps more money, more and more money every day. They wake up, from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, they're having sex with multiple men. And then once they get back to the pimp is beating them and forcing them to have sex even more. They're beating them, they're demeanoring them, they're coercing them. They beat them so bad that they believe that they have to stay. That's what they're drilling into these girls' heads. I read this in an article by Priscilla Alvarez. She wrote this for The Atlantic in 2016. The cause for these pimps to keep these ladies in bondage is because sex trafficking is $100 billion a year industry. They don't care about a girl's age. They will go out and get a girl as young as 11 years old and force her into this industry. They drug ladies that are as young as 11 years old. They lure the girls via Facebook. That's an outlet that they go to. They know that young girls are on Facebook and they're expressing themselves, and they look on these young ladies' pages and they see that they're expressing themselves. So they find a way to get into them and to tell them, hey, it's going to be okay. I'll take care of you. But in reality, they're not going to take care of these young ladies. They're forced, and once they refuse to go out and have sex, they're beaten, and they're made to go out and make more money. And to have a whole lot of partners, because more partners equal more money for the pimps. The solution: we have to begin to recognize the signs that these young ladies are presenting. They could have poor health or hygiene. They lack self-control. They're always nervous and anxious. They're always worried. They're always looking over their shoulder. If they don't go out and make more money, they know they're going to be beaten. You have to pay close attention because they may be paranoid. They may be withdrawn and depressed. And they're probably not going to be willing to talk about it. The pimp has beaten them so bad and has put so much fear into their heart that they believe that if they open up to anyone about anything that's going on in their current situation, that harm will come to them. They believe that they don't believe that they're the victims. They believe that they are the ones that's causing the problem. That's what the pimps have put into their heads. And once they get with one pimp and the pimp uses them as much as he can, he will sell them to another pimp. This is why President Barack Obama said that this is a form of modern day slavery, because people are being sold here and then they're being sold here. Also, these girls are coming from different countries into the United States. It's not just in different countries. It's here in the United States. These girls are in different countries and they're meeting these guys on the internet. It's websites out there like blackpage.com that you can go on and you can see a list of young girls, their age, and everything that you need to know about them. Their picture is just a profile of them. You can go on there and you can see these girls and you can choose which girl do you want to be with? Which girl do you want to buy? You can view everything about these girls before you ever purchase a girl. That's why it is a form of modern day slavery, because these ladies are being sold. We must intervene. If we see these signs of these girls that are victims of these sex trafficking rings, we need to intervene. We need to step to these ladies and we need to let them know, hey, I am on your side. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to help you. No matter what the cost, no matter what it takes, I'm going to help you get out of this. They will be hesitant to believe you at first, but what you have to do, you have to instill in their heart and in their mind that you are on their side and that they do not have to go through this. No one has to go through this horrible crime, this horrible act. It's unspeakable and it's unthinkable. It's unimaginable. If you have a daughter or if you have a son, could you imagine losing them to a sex trafficking ring? And you see someone that you know is involved in a sex trafficking ring, but you do nothing. Think about this person. They are someone's child. So you should have the initiative to want to help these people escape. Some websites that you can visit and to get more information about sex trafficking, you can visit the humantrafficking.org, www.humantrafficking.org. You can visit www.hopeforjustice.org, or you can even visit the www.usdepartmentofstate.org. All these organizations, all these websites, they will give you more insight as to how we can step in and we can stop these sex traffickers. And we can get these ladies that's free. We may not be able to completely wipe out sex trafficking, but we can try to stop it one victim at a time. Thank you.